Oh boy. I didn't think I'd be making another race review. I took a couple weeks off because either there wasn't just much to really talk about in a race, or I just didn't really feel like talking about it. But this week, there's some fire. Fire in my eyes again. Oh boy. We'll just go right from the beginning. Michigan, it was kind of a shit show at first. A lot of wrecks, a lot of weird shit happening. But I think a lot of drivers are just pushing the car really hard because there was such a strong chance of rain that everybody was just trying to get to lap 100. So that's where a lot of those wrecks came from. It wasn't just like a Michigan's just weird thing. I think it's just drivers pushing it too hard. That's been a common trait for a millennia. When there's a chance of rain, drivers are going to go over the edge, over the limit, and race really hard to get to that halfway point. So that was like the first half, and the second half was definitely a lot better in some areas. The fact that Truex pitted and then in a span of 20 laps went from 20 plus 20th on back. I don't even know where he restarted there, but he was way in the back. He was able to run his way up to the field. That was kind of badass. I knew his car was good, but I didn't know it was that good. That was pretty cool. Then we get into the last part of the race, which went for a really long time. It was kind of a old school Michigan race for a little bit there with the pit stretch, people staying out. It was nice to have green flag pit stops and have all that play a factor, especially with the weird. This is why I'm not going to give this race a super high rating, because this felt like almost 90% just full throttle, and I think this car has a lot of work to do with getting that to not be a thing, because when your corner speeds are like 180, 185, and your top speed's like 195 in the straights, you're barely lifting. It's almost like a NASCAR Heat 5 race. It's gross. That's a monumental issue. I don't know what to say about that, but the fact that Buescher and Reddick were pseudo two-car tangoing away from the whole pack at fucking Michigan is a little bit ludicrous. I expect that type of nonsense in the Truck Series, but now Cup Series. Now I'm sorry, it's stupid. It's stupid that two cars can just not they're not like literally two-car tango, but they're just literally like front to back, and they're able to just pull away from the fastest car in the field that was so blatantly faster than everyone else the whole day. It was a little fucking ridiculous. Obviously, all that fell apart during the pit stops because Reddick had to go down pure because the person didn't tighten the tire enough, and then I left Buescher all up on his own, and Truex and Buescher had a pretty intense battle. Part of me likes it, part of me really fucking hates it. What part of me that really hates it is the fact that, well, part of me likes it, the fact that it just played out organically. It wasn't like a green, white, checkered crazy stuff. It was a very just organically done. Like, we organically got to that point in the race. But what is very fucking frustrating is Truex was so blatantly faster. And as soon as he got like 2 or 3 tenths back, maybe 2 tenths, I don't know, but right around that 2 or 3 tenth range, his car just stalls and he can't do a goddamn thing about it. And that is horseshit. I'm sorry, that is bullshit. But the driver is that much faster than the whole field, but they just get stalled out by dirty air. Now, like, granted, I think Buescher was probably really the only car that was able to even contest with Truex the whole day. But the biggest point of my argument of the whole race is with like 12 or 11 laps to go, Truex gets to the inside of Buescher. Truex gets loose. Dirty air, I'm sure, being side by side that close did something to it, because we can't race cars. We have to race the air. So the air played a factor in that. Got him sideways. He lost literally a second. In a span of 3 or 4 laps, ran him back down. Like, once dirty air was not even a factor, because when you're that far back, dirty air isn't a thing. Once that was the case, he ran him back down comically fast. Now, at that point in the race, I thought it was over. And I was going to sit here and accept the fact that, okay, Buescher was just that much better, or at least, was good enough, and that gap would have stayed right around that 1.1 to 1 second range. Nope. It really just solidified my my frustration when Truex was just able to run down. Now, granted, could there have been a lap car that might have affected that? Maybe. But we didn't see it on TV, so I don't know. There might have been, but lap traffic to affect 8 to 9 tenths of a second might be a little bit ridiculous, because even before that point when they're getting around lap traffic, it didn't affect Buescher to that degree. So I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm missing some context. I don't know. But either way, he still ran him down a pretty ridiculous margin. And then once he got to that 2 or 3 tenth range, the car just stalled and he just could not do anything. This reminded me so much of the 2020 Kansas Fall race, and it was just infuriating. It's not on the same level as that, because that was maybe one of the most insufferable fucking last 20 laps of that race ever with that Kansas one, where Logano, or at least where Harvick was so blatantly faster, and Logano just blocked the lane. You see Harvick's car literally just like push back. Like that was like bottom of the barrel bullshit racing air. This was not in that degree. Like, if we had to scale it, 2020 Kansas Fall was like a 10 out of 10 in frustration. This is like an 8 or a 9. It's still there. And it was just miserable. Seeing that Truex had such a fast car and just couldn't do a goddamn thing about it because of dirty air. There's a lot of other fucking things this car needs to be fixed with this bullshit, because that's asinine. There's so much. I mean, like, tire fall off was almost next to nothing. That people are gonna look at that finish and not understand the nuance of how the car drives. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm the fucking god of everything. But who's gonna tell me with 10 plus laps to go, Truex is a second back and it just ran him back down like 3 or 4 laps, like nothing. Maybe lap traffic played a factor, but I don't think a lap traffic is gonna destroy Buescher to that extent. And nothing, at least that I noticed. Even if it was one lap car. It's like there's so much wrong. No matter how I want to try to look at it, it's insufferable. And it would have been really nice to get that car as like a race win diecast, because that auto owner's car looks pretty fucking good. But yeah, that was frustrating. As a Truex fan, as a fanboy cap off moment, it was bullshit. That was very fucking frustrating. I'm sorry. That was just very frustrating to see that play out, and it gave me the 2020 Kansas vibes. I want to be positive. I want to change my perception. I want to be a glass half full, not a glass half empty. But when I see shit like that, ooh, it comes back. That rage comes back in me, and it's fucking infuriating. I don't mind Buescher. I want to point that out. I don't mind Buescher. He's fine. He's cool. I liked him way back in, the Xfinity era. I guess it was Nationwide back then. Maybe it was Xfinity. I don't know. But when he way back in the Nationwide series, I've liked him since then. He cool. But man, it sucks to watch this dirty air just affect the fastest car so blatantly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to give this race. I was gonna give it like an 8 or maybe a 7. I don't know. But some of this aero bullshit and the corner speeds, I mean, it felt like a 550 horsepower race, but just faster. Just the cars were a little bit faster. It felt a lot like that. Because I'm sorry, Buescher and Reddick pseudo 2-car tangoing, pulling away from the fastest car in the field just because of draft. Like, I shouldn't even have to think about restrictor plate like elements at Michigan. It shouldn't even be like that. Yes, Michigan is like nearly the same length as, but I shouldn't be thinking of 2-car tangos pulling away from the fucking field. Oh my god, it was stupid. So that was annoying. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say. That's just my 2 cents. I'm sure I'm gonna get flamed. I'm sure I'm gonna get ripped the fuck apart about it. But what I've been doing lately is staying the fuck off the internet, because it feels a lot goddamn better staying away from the fucking internet. Because, man, when I take like 12 hours away from it or something like, or I guess not 12. I guess, yeah, sometimes it's 12. Sometimes it's 6 to 12 hours. I feel so much fucking better. Just staying the fuck off Twitter. I mean, I check YouTube stuff, but it's done me a world of good. And I'll probably do the same after this, because I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm a salty fanboy, and also salty in general, even if those were just 2 cars that had no names, and watching that happen, where car B was faster than car A, but car A just left dirty air in the car B couldn't do anything. That's just stupid. I know dirty air's always been a thing to some element, but not to this extent where the second place car was so much. It was annoying. So that's my thoughts. What do I give this race? Maybe a 6, maybe a 7. I'm sure everyone's gonna give it like a fucking 9 or a perfect 10 out of 10 because that looked exciting, but it doesn't feel 100% legitimate. I don't know anymore. Half the people I watch don't even give fucking race ratings, or like there's no point even doing those charts anymore. That was kind of fun to do, to compare, but like Radman stopped doing it, Jet MDK stopped doing it, so like we'll just go by feelings. And this race made me feel like it was the 2020 Kansas race, and that sucked. That finished. I don't know. I'm just, part of me, it could be the fanboy in me. But fanboy cap off, I could see that as being very fucking frustrating. And it sucks when the fastest car, so blatantly faster, couldn't even. I don't know. I'm done. I'm repeating the same points. So I'm just gonna go and sulk and wake up the next day and feel better. So yeah, I'm done. Bye.